Yeah, morning, Tracy. We saw some big moves coming through in Asia yesterday. PBOC adding liquidity into the market seemed to be very helpful indeed. And certainly we saw the H shares and the Hang Seng fire up quite nicely. And we should see some follow-through buying on the open, and certainly in the Hang Seng, we are expecting that market to open higher. We have our eyes firmly on the Chinese data dump coming through about midday. Industrial production numbers expected to be up nearly 11% year on year. But let's not forget, obviously, it's coming off a base where the economy was in lockdown. But we've got retail sales, fixed asset investment. I think that's going to be quite a dominant thematic playing through today. We are watching the Nikkei. The Nikkei is in absolute beast mode. I know there's a yen effect playing through, but if you price that market in dollars, it's still looking pretty good. We've seen Buffett coming out saying he's buying Japanese stocks, and there's a whole raft of factors that we like at the moment. Certainly buybacks really very prevalent there, but the Nikkei looking like it's going to open stronger, and that market really very firing up quite nicely. European equity markets, not really much going on there. We've seen the markets continue to show mean reversion working quite well. S&P closed 30 basis points higher. We did see 67% of stocks higher on the day, so reasonable breadth. Volumes were pretty poor through the cash market, about 15% below what we'd usually see. We saw 1.12 million SPOOs traded hands, which is below the 15-day average of about 1.56. But look, we can make money in a low volume environment, and generally speaking, the market has recovered quite nicely off the lows and pushed higher into the session. Certainly tech working quite well. We've got the Russell outperforming on the small cap side up, but we saw that cash market up closing up 1.2%. And generally speaking, materials, financials and tech firing up quite nicely. That should flow through into Asia. Fixed income, we've got twos up a couple of basis points at 401. Tens, showing a bit more underperformance with tens closing up 4 basis points. We've got break evens up a couple of basis points. Commodity markets have fired up quite nicely. Certainly crude having a strong tape. We've seen that market closing up 1.8%. We've seen gold up a bit and copper up about 40 basis points as well. Now in FX markets, we are seeing some love for the high beta FX. Certainly the SAFA's seen some good short covering, but we've seen the Aussie pushing to 67 cents, the Noki and the Kiwi all doing quite well, the Mexican peso firing up quite nicely there. So a big day. We are expecting Asia to fire up. We've got our eyes on UK jobs, Chinese data, and of course this Biden congressional meeting with McCarthy, and so obviously watching those headlines about the debt ceiling.